One of the most frequent concerns men bring to my clinic involves a very specific question that often carries a surprisingly heavy emotional weight. How can I increase my semen volume? And usually, that question isn't just about biology. It's layered with comparison, quiet doubt, and sometimes even a fear that something isn't working the way it should. I am Dr. Ava, and as a specialist in urological health and male physiology, I want to walk you through what is actually happening inside your body in a way that is clear, honest, and grounded in science. Today, we are going to explore how semen is made, what really controls volume and force, why things sometimes change, and what you can realistically do about it. And somewhere along the way, you may realize that the thing you were worried about isn't what you thought it was at all. So let us begin with the foundation, the composition of semen, more than just sperm. Most people assume semen is mostly sperm. It feels like the obvious answer. But here's where things start to get interesting. Pause for a second and think about it. If you had to guess, what percentage of semen do you think is actually sperm? Many people say 50%, some even say 80%. But the real number is far lower than most expect. Sperm makes up only about 5% of total semen volume. Yes, just 5%. That means 95% of what you see is actually fluid produced by other parts of your reproductive system. This is important because a lot of men equate volume with fertility. But biologically, those two things are not the same. You can have a high volume with low sperm count, and you can have a lower volume with highly concentrated, healthy sperm. So volume alone does not tell the full story. Now let us break down where the rest comes from. The seminal vesicles contribute the largest portion, about 60 to 70%. These small glands sit behind the bladder and produce a fluid rich in fructose. That fructose acts like fuel, giving sperm the energy they need to move. Then comes the prostate, contributing around 20 to 30%. The fluid from the prostate is slightly alkaline, which helps protect sperm by neutralizing acidic environments they may encounter. And finally, just before ejaculation, the bulbourethral glands release a small amount of lubricating fluid. This prepares the pathway and reduces friction. So what you are seeing is not just one substance. It is a coordinated blend, each part playing a specific role. Now let us talk about something that creates even more curiosity. Shooters versus dribblers. The physics of ejaculation. Why do some men experience a strong, forceful release, while others notice a weaker flow? This is where people often jump to the wrong conclusions. They assume it is about testosterone or masculinity. But the real answer is much simpler. It comes down to muscle function. Specifically, a group of muscles in your pelvic floor, including the bulbocavernosus muscle. This muscle wraps around the base of the penis and plays a key role during ejaculation. When you climax, your nervous system triggers rhythmic contractions in these muscles. Think of it like a series of pulses. Each contraction pushes fluid forward. If the muscle is strong and well coordinated, the release is more forceful. If it is weak or less active, the result can feel like a dribble. So this is not a failure of your hormones. It is more like a difference in muscle strength and coordination. And that is something you can influence. But before we go into solutions, there is a question many people quietly carry. Does your partner actually care? This is where perception and reality often separate. Many men feel that volume or force is directly tied to their attractiveness or performance. But when we actually look at the data, a different picture emerges. In one study involving 240 women, participants were asked how much semen volume and force affected their experience. The majority reported that it made little to no difference. Only a small percentage said it enhanced their experience. Interestingly, some women actually worried that lower volume reflected something about them, not their partner, which highlights something deeper. Communication matters more than assumptions. Connection matters more than metrics. And most of the pressure people feel is internal, not external. So if you have been carrying that concern, it may not be as relevant as you think. Now let us move into what actually changes volume over time. But before we continue, if you're finding this helpful so far, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone you care about because the right information can change someone's life. Why semen volume decreases? If you have noticed changes, you are not alone. Semen volume tends to peak in a man's 30s. After that, there is a gradual decline. This is not sudden, and it is not usually dramatic, but it is noticeable for some. One reason is muscle changes. Just like any other muscle in your body, the pelvic floor can weaken with age if it is not actively used or trained. Another factor is lifestyle. Chronic stress, poor nutrition, lack of sleep, and low physical activity all affect how your body functions internally. The glands responsible for producing semen are not isolated. They respond to your overall health. There are also day-to-day variations. Hydration levels can change volume. Alcohol and caffeine intake can influence it. Even how often you ejaculate plays a role. So, fluctuations are normal, but there is a difference between normal variation and something that feels sudden and persistent. Clinical causes of sudden drops. If you notice a sharp and lasting decrease, it is worth paying attention. In some cases, there may be underlying medical causes. An ejaculatory duct obstruction can physically block the flow of fluid. Low testosterone can affect the function of the glands involved in semen production. And there is a condition called retrograde ejaculation. This is when semen travels backward into the bladder instead of forward. It can happen due to certain medications or medical conditions like diabetes. So if something changes quickly and does not improve, it is always a good idea to get evaluated. Now let us talk about what you can actually do. 4 proven ways to increase semen volume. There is a lot of noise online about miracle supplements, but the reality is there is no single pill that reliably increases semen volume for everyone. What works is consistency and understanding how your body responds. So here are 4 evidence-based approaches. Quit smoking. Smoking affects blood flow, nerve function, and overall cellular health. Inside your body, it creates oxidative stress and reduces the efficiency of systems involved in reproduction. Over time, this can reduce both volume and performance. Quitting is not just about one benefit. It improves your entire system. Stay hydrated. This may sound simple, but it is powerful. Semen is largely fluid-based, and your body needs water to produce it. If you are dehydrated, your body prioritizes essential functions over reproduction. A practical way to monitor this is urine color. Light yellow suggests good hydration. Darker shades suggest you need more fluids. Strengthen the pelvic floor. Kegel exercises help train the muscles responsible for ejaculation. By improving muscle strength and coordination, you improve the force of release. This does not necessarily increase production, but it improves delivery, which can make a noticeable difference. Before we move to the final point, take a second. If this has been helpful so far, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone you care about, because the right information can change someone's life. Now let us talk about the most effective strategy. Adjust frequency. This is the one backed by clear evidence. Your body needs time to produce and store semen. If you ejaculate frequently, the volume may be lower simply because there has not been enough time to replenish. Studies show that each day of abstinence can increase volume. The most noticeable gains occur within the first few days. After that, the increase continues, but at a slower rate. So spacing things out by a few days can significantly change what you notice. It is not about restriction. It is about timing, understanding how your body works and working with it, bringing it all together. Your body is not static. It responds to how you treat it, to what you eat, how you rest, how you move, and how you manage stress. Small changes, repeated consistently, create real results. And just as important, understanding removes unnecessary fear. Because confidence is not built on assumptions. It is built on clarity. So if you take anything from this, let it be this. You are not defined by a single metric. Your body is adaptable. And with the right habits, you can improve not just one aspect of your health, but your overall well-being. Thank you for taking the time to invest in your health. Please like the video, leave a comment about where you are watching from, and subscribe for more content like this. Take care of yourself, stay consistent, and remember that small changes can lead to meaningful improvements in how you feel every day.